He couldn't just watch the dog drown, so he stripped down to his boxers and jumped in. A UPS driver has recently grabbed the nation's attention over his heroic actions to help save a dog. Ryan Ahrens from Bozeman, Montana, was going about his workday just like any other day. While on his route, the young UPS driver approached a home to deliver a package when he heard sounds of distress. It was a dog.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
This dog was screaming and crying and going crazy, he told the Great Falls Tribune. The sun was setting, so the light was quickly fading from the day. He looked around to see if he could hear where the noises were coming from, but he couldn't see anything. Ahrens finished delivering the package and decided to drive to the other side of the pond to see if he could find the source of the distressing sounds. Once he was on the other side, that's when Ahrens noticed a dog fighting for their life in the frigid, icy water. It wasn't going to survive much longer if someone didn't save them.
Drove back around here and she was screaming, crying, and then I saw her clinging to the ice.
Ahrens also happened to notice an older gentleman in a rowboat trying to chip away the ice to reach the dog. However, he was having little success in doing so. This is when Ahrens knew that he couldn't just stand by and watch this poor dog drown. Instinct kicked in, and soon the UPS driver found himself half naked in the cold water.
And so the boat stayed on the ice, thank goodness. I'm already in the water, so I was like, well, I might as well swim now. So I swam out to Sadie.
Making his way out on the icy pond, the ice gave way and the boat crashed into the 16-foot deep water, throwing Ahrens into the water as well. The brave driver figured that since he was already wet, he might as well swim out to the desperate dog.
Grabbed her collar, swam back to the ice, hoisted her up, and I don't know how I even did that because I could not touch bottom at all. It's 16 feet deep.
Ahrens reached out and grabbed the terrified dog's collar and swam her back to the thicker ice. Once they reached ice thick enough to hold their weight, Ahrens slid the dog across to push her to shore. Once he knew she was safely on land, the hero UPS driver lifted himself out of the water and into safety.
Went into Mike's house, so he turned the water on in the shower. He was warming her up, and we got all her body temperature back up.
Even though the dog was out of the water, she wasn't out of danger yet. She had been in the freezing water for quite some time. At this point, animal control and the sheriff's department had arrived. They called for help because the dog was in bad shape. She needed to receive help immediately, or she wasn't going to survive.
You know, she was in bad place.
Soon, the dog was taken away to receive medical attention, and Ahrens had to get back to his scheduled route. Despite jumping in freezing cold water and receiving a cut to the leg, Ahrens finished delivering 20 more packages. "Animals are my weakness," he said. "It was the highlight of my 14-year UPS career." The heroic act of jumping into an icy pond was second nature to Ahrens. He would have done the same thing for his dog, a 14-and-a-half-year-old Malamute Shepherd mix who he loves dearly. A few days passed and Ahrens found out where the owners of the dog lived, and he happened to have a package that needed to be delivered to them.
Well, then the next day, I was out and I had a delivery for him, the guy with the dog.
When he walked up to the house, he saw the dog and learned that her name was Sadie.
And Sadie was in his truck. He came outside and he's like, "Hey, do you want to meet Sadie?" And I was like, "I'd love to."
When Ahrens walked up to the house, he saw Sadie in the back of the pickup out front, and she immediately recognized her hero.
Opened up the door, she came running up to me, and we kind of had our little reuniting, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Knowing that Sadie was safe, sound, and doing better than ever made Ahrens' heart full. She's a 2-and-a-half-year-old wire-haired pointing griffin that had so many adventure-filled years ahead of her. This dog had a whole lot of life left in her, and I'm really glad I was able to act when I did. She's a sweetheart. We're so thankful that this UPS driver was there to jump into action to save this gorgeous dog.
If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.